Moments with God, a time of reflection for every day.
November 15th. A touch of faith. Let us listen to the following verse from the Bible. And should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring and grow up, he knoweth not how. For the earth bringeth forth fruit of herself, first the blade, then the ear, after that the full corn in the ear. Mark 4:27 and 28.
An act of faith is recorded in the Bible, although the name of that woman of faith is not mentioned. But it is known that she suffered from chronic hemorrhage, which plagued her for 12 long and difficult years. Years in which she spent her life, her efforts, and her money seeking medical treatment, yet her health worsened more and more. She waited hopelessly for death, but it never came, and she suffered from the illness that made her life even more miserable. However, she heard of a doctor who didn't charge any money, who revived the dead, cast out demons, and performed all kinds of miracles. Her hopes were revived, and she longed to meet the doctor. One day, Jesus was passing through her town, amidst such a large crowd, and she, no matter the cost, had to reach him.
She couldn't walk because of the pressing crowd, so she crawled along the ground, thinking only of touching the hem of Jesus' garment. Bruised, beaten, and injured in her struggle, she dragged herself to the edge, and as soon as she was close, she stretched out her hand, and upon touching Christ's garment, her illness disappeared.
There was no power in the cloak. It's not that there are sacred relics that perform miracles. No, that didn't happen. But rather, all his faith focused on that effort. He couldn't get any closer, and at least he wanted to touch his cloak. It was his faith, not the cloak, but faith in Jesus who has power, and that faith led him to touch the hem of his garments. After a while, she was able to speak with Jesus. He stopped to look at her and gave her more than just healing. He gave her salvation, saying, "Your faith has saved you. Go in peace." It's clear that it was her faith that made her make all the effort, and the healing came in response to her faith.
Open the door of your heart, and Christ, the heavenly guest, will enter. You may have a nominal faith like that of the people who thronged Christ in the streets of Judea, but that faith did not connect you with him. You need a faith similar to that of the poor woman who had been sick for 12 years.
So many were close to Jesus, yet they lacked faith in him. That's why that woman stands out in the crowd. Men didn't notice her, but heaven took her into account. She was a woman of faith who believed in the power of God and brought her need to Jesus, and Christ understood the longing of her heart. He understands the longing of every heart that draws near to him and is ready to respond. Evil overwhelms you, the consequences of bad decisions continue to steal your smiles, and after every effort toward happiness and peace, you continue to fall and sink into the abyss of affliction. You may not be able to walk, but insist, even crawling, you must reach Jesus, and only faith in him can bring his answers to your needs. Amen.
Thank you for listening to this audio. We invite you to share with your contacts and visit the website BibleWell.com.